At
Football, the pro variety is canceled.
7:15, we'll tell you what we got right, what we got wrong, what we didn't see coming. We can completely make it up because we weren't on the air last week, so this could all be a lie, but tune in at 7:15 anyway. And at 7:30, Brian Munson is going to join us to discuss the Trey Taylor of it all. There's a lot going on in Husker recruiting land. Could Nebraska eventually have the number one recruiting class in
2027? Please.
There's definitely a possibility. There's a possibility you could talk to Dan Campen tonight by calling 402-951-1620. Give us anything you have going on your mind as well. It is a Taste Test Tuesday, courtesy of Railcar. We got some delicious breakfast for dinner tonight. If you want to get the best brunch in Omaha, head over to our Twitter page, retweet the Taste Test Tuesday post. We're into a drawing to win a $25 gift card to Railcar tonight. Nebraska is now 7-3. If I'd have told you before the season that heading into Happy Valley, Nebraska would be 7-3, would you have taken it?
See, I didn't think they would. I thought they'd be 7-1 at this point.
Okay.
I had them losing to Penn State and Iowa in my season prediction. So no, I would have said
that'd be 8-1, but yeah.
8-1, sorry. Yeah. I wouldn't have, because I thought they would get to this point at 8-1 and lose to Penn State and lose to Iowa. But the way it's all kind of shaken out, it's like they have a decent chance of winning both of the last two games.
They
now.
do.
So,
and I listen, I said this when Dylan went down. I said this after the USC game, and it makes it look a lot better now that it's a week removed from the UCLA game. I thought Nebraska was going to win out. I still think that's going to happen. I think TJ Lateef might be really, really good. There's obviously small sample size with what we've seen in the non-con versus what we saw at the end of USC. Versus
fairly bad defense.
What we saw, I can't say fairly bad as being a lot nicer than I was going to be, so I guess we'll just leave it at that. But with that being said, like, he looked good. Listen, you got to play who you got to play, right? And Penn State's defense, not as bad as UCLA's. Iowa's defense, pretty damn good. So you're going to find out what you have in TJ Lateef over the next couple of weeks pretty quickly. And Nebraska, obviously, going on the road against UCLA, much different environment in Happy Valley. Maybe. I mean, tickets are literally $15 right now to get into this game. So if you're out there in Husker land, want to travel, it's got to be cheap. But with that being said, it's not going to be the environment he walked into.
No. I mean, that was basically a home game in Los Angeles. Yeah. As far as the TJ Lateef situation goes, like, look, for coming in as a true freshman, having to jump into the starting role late in the season, I don't think you can ask much more from him. Honestly, like he was
perfect through 3.5 quarters,
as good as you could expect, and probably better.
Yeah, I think he was way better. I mean, listen, I know there's that contingency out there that wanted TJ Lateef to start over Dylan Raiola. I'm still not willing to say that TJ Lateef is a better quarterback than Dylan Raiola. I think his skill set is better equipped for what Nebraska needs right now. With that being said, I mean,
or maybe just what Nebraska is on the offensive line.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with this is not even that. I think what TJ Lateef brings to the equation also opens up another lane for Emmett Johnson. And I think it's pretty evident. This isn't a hot take. This team's going to go as far as 21 carries them to. I mean, 30 carries against UCLA was, what it took to get the job done. I think as good as TJ Lateef was against UCLA, and it was pretty good, 13-15, 3 touchdowns. Emmett Johnson, 28 carries, 129 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground, 2 through the air. I think the Heisman campaign is a little premature, but he's definitely a guy that's going to be on a couple end-of-season watch lists for other trophies.
I think it was after the Michigan State game. I got sideways glances from folks when I said Emmett Johnson's the best player on this team. I feel kind of vindicated now.
You should. You're absolutely right, by the way.
He's so fantastic in short area quickness. Like, making people miss in short spaces it's out of this world good.
Well, and this is obviously an age-old saying, but I mean, I think this is 100% true when it comes to Emmett Johnson. He clearly gets better with the more touches he gets, right? It's one of those things. Sometimes he looks better and fresher, more fresh at the end.
Fresher's fun
at the end of the game in a lot of situations. So, like, that's something that Nebraska has been sorely missing for a long time in a running back. But, like, more importantly, it's just him. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a situation like 06 where you had Marlon Lucky and Cody Glenn and you had all these running backs in a stable. You could Brandon Jackson, you could just rotate him in and out and have a fresh back, and a guy looked like he had his first carry on his 20th carry.
It's not even Amir and Rex.
Yeah, it's just one guy. No offense to Mosey and Nelson and the other guys behind him, but
it looks different when they're in there.
It does, and it should, right? Because they're also freshmen and redshirt freshmen, and
one guy's never played the position before.
And the guy that's the number one guy is probably a first-team All-American.
If not, somebody needs to have their vote removed.
Yeah, I don't know who. Like, listen, the Heisman is famously not an MVP candidate, right? Or MVP trophy. If there's an MVP of a team this year, it's definitely Emmett Johnson.
Yeah, and I don't think I don't honestly think Nebraska is going to win enough games for him to be in the consideration because
Heisman,
yeah,
they win out.
If they win out, sure. I don't think Nebraska will win out, though.
Yikes.
We know.
Well, they're not going 10-2, Dan.
From history
Famously.
That good players on mediocre teams don't win the Heisman.
Like, the only guy to do it's Lamar Jackson.
Yep, that's it.
And you know why.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious.
Because he was undeniable.
Yeah, it was undeniable who the best player in the country was. Like, I think Emmett Johnson's really – I think he is the best running back in the country. I think for and that's the other thing about TJ Lateef is like putting TJ Lateef into the equation has also forced Dana Holgerson's hand to lean on this running game a little bit. And it just feels like Nebraska's skill set is better dictated towards running first and setting up the pass. Now, it helps that TJ Lateef has a cannon of an arm and is pretty good at chucking the rock as well. But it also, like, it makes the defense be accountable for one more guy in the box. And if you're taking one guy out of the equation against Emmett Johnson, that gives you the advantage. Pretty noticeable.
Well, the other thing that I think we saw in the UCLA game, and it's so far in the rearview mirror but we didn't get to talk about it, so you're subjected to it.
Nebraska won. Enjoy the talk.
I think that offensive line unit came together and said, we got to protect the Frosh.
Yeah.
We have to raise our game. And they did. Like, because, look, and you can say, like, well, UCLA's pass rush was terrible. And I don't disagree with you. But Nebraska made terrible pass rushing teams look like world beaters all season long.
Yeah.
The difference was, I think they came together and said, we have to protect him. We have to open holes for the running game. He has to have time to sit back there and make his read.
I mean, it's twofold, though, right? It's also that defense now has to equate for the quarterback run game. So you can't necessarily just pin your ears back and get after a freshman quarterback. Because if you do, he has the ability to beat you with his legs. Now, Dylan's not a statue.
But the line play was so much better just as a whole.
I'll give you that. But I don't think it's as simple as they were that much better. And I think they were. I think there was a step forward for the offensive line. But I think there's also the fact that the defense had to hesitate and wait a little bit more because of the running quarterback game. Now, listen, TJ Lateef only rushed the ball 5 times for 31 yards. That's good, but that's not going to set the world on fire. You know what I mean? But it's just that elusiveness and the ability that he has the ability to tuck the ball and run and make you pay for it if you do come on a blitz or you do bring an extra guy and he can beat you on the edge, that you can't just send everybody that you want to at it.
The other thing that I saw from him was, and it's something we get from freshman quarterbacks, I think, sometimes. Like, you remember Adrian Martinez's freshman year?
I do. I've met him once.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
And the little
very tall
kind of drop off in his statistical measures that happened in his sophomore season.
Yes.
I think when it's a freshman quarterback.
Do you remember South Alabama?
They sometimes will they'll read the primary if for an athletic quarterback, right? Yeah. They'll read the primary. If it's not open, what do?
Tuck it and run.
Tuck it and run. And I think in some, like, his primary was open a lot.
Yeah.
Almost every time he dropped back to throw it.
Well, and I think that's pretty noticeable by the numbers too. Dane Key, 3 catches. Isaiah Hunter, 3 catches. Ja'Cory Barney, 4 catches. You want to know why? Because they're probably the number 1 reads on every one of those plays.
Yeah. But on the plays where they weren't there, he wasn't sitting back there waiting for the play to develop, getting himself into trouble. It was just like, that's not open. Got to go.
Let's make a play.
Yeah. And when you have that skill set, when you have that ability to do that and make a positive gain out of it, like, you feel confident in doing that.
And as I mentioned, I think Nebraska wins on Saturday. I know it's a night game. I know it's in Happy Valley and all that. But I caution everybody that's all in on the Lateef train right now. Keep in mind, Nebraska won almost every single first down running the football.
Yep.
Now, I don't care who they're playing. You're able to win first down running the football in college football, you're going to win a lot of football games. Your offense is going to look a lot more effective. And with that being said, like, it looked more like a college offense with TJ Lateef in there. And I don't think that's Dana Holgorsen dumbing down the plays. People are like, oh, the play calling's better. No, you had a guy that could do what you just said and could just make a play happen out of thin air that there's absolutely no film on. That's going to eventually catch up and balance out, specifically probably in 2 weeks.
Right. Penn State's pass rush is significantly better than UCLA.
They have one, so that makes them significantly better.
Their run defense is significantly better than UCLA's. This is a tougher game. And look, I know Penn State's down. They just won their first conference game, beating the other team in the Big Ten who hadn't won a conference game.
And it wasn't
yet.
And it wasn't pretty. And it wasn't pretty, by the way. Yeah.
I don't think that they're all like, but again, Nebraska's defense has made teams that haven't been able to run the ball look like, you know, the four horsemen of Notre Dame. Just like
kids Google it.
They have that run and look, Penn State's got two really good running backs.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most disappointing thing. There's a lot of disappointing things about Penn State this year, but it's like you still have both those guys. They're still playing at a pretty high clip, and you're still 4-6. Like, it's not great. Hey, that's our recap of everything that's been going on with Nebraska football since we've been off the air. We're going to tell you where everybody's coaching situation ranks in the country as far as the Power 6 or Power 4 goes. Anyway, we come back on the other side of the break. If you missed the opening segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Aloe Fiber. From Nebraska neighborhoods all across the state, it's clear there is no place like Nebraska. Just like so many of us, Aloe calls Nebraska home. Born right here in the Cornhusker State, sharing proud traditions of agriculture, athletics, and education. The community of purpose that Aloe has is just like game day traditions, bringing us together season after season. Aloe brings people together, connection by connection. Head over to aloefiber.com/Husker Radio. Get out of the Stone Age tonight. Sign up for the official internet, TV, and mobile provider of the Huskers. It's Aloe Fiber. We'll be right back. How good of a fit is James Franklin at Virginia Tech? We debate. 1620 Zone.
Ding. Hey, everybody, it's John here, and I haven't been here in a week, so I need you to sit down and listen, okay? Because I'm here to tell you about Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. I haven't talked about them for an entire week, and I'm excited because it's fall gear time at 78th and Dodge. You know the place, you know the space, you know how to get there, you know where it is, and you know that if you need fall fashion, Jerry Ryan is the place to go. Mizzen and Main, Johnny O, Roan, all in stock for the fall. I've told you so many times, my Johnny O quarter zip Nebraska pullover is one of my favorite pieces of clothing that I own. It's stretchy. It fits snug. It looks great. It feels great. It doesn't get all like stretched out and worn in the wash. It's easy to care for. Just throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer. Good to go. It's great for game day. It's great for sitting on the couch. It's great for whatever you're doing. And plus, check out the Brax pants. You're looking for comfortable professional pants. They got them. 78th and Dodge. Brax pants. Go in, try them on. You are going to love it. Get into Jerry Ryan and get your fall fashion game right. Check them out this week. Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, 78th and Dodge. They've been dressed in Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
Cloudy and cool tonight with a low temperature in the upper 30s to around 40. Mostly cloudy to start off Wednesday, then skies turning partly sunny with a high temperature in the low to mid 50s. Even nicer and milder on Thursday. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Randy from KETV News Watch 7.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Fall is the time to get to Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Stop in and see John, Dan, Jake, Deanna, Matt, and Monier the tailor. There's new fall apparel from Mizzen and Main, Johnny O, Roan, and now pants from Brax. Stop by 78th and Dodge and look great for all of your fall events.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
It's cold weather season, and when it gets cold outside, pests want to come inside. From spiders to rodents, now's the time to prep your home for the winter months. An end-of-the-year pest control checkup can help keep the mice out of your walls, spiders out of your corners, and even prevent the occasional squirrel or raccoon from trying to make themselves at home. Don't let unwanted guests, besides your in-laws, crash your holidays. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Leaves are falling and footballs are flying. It's the season to celebrate, but it's tough to relax when your furnace starts shaking, rattling, and rumbling every time it turns on. With a maintenance plan from Controlled Comfort, you can enjoy peace of mind all year long. Our comfort specialist will perform a full HVAC tune-up and ensure your system is operating efficiently and reliably. Schedule your maintenance appointment today at ControlledComfort.com.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Hello there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. And yes, time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, what a great time to be enjoying the great outdoors of Nebraska as these days get shorter and cooler, leaves start changing color and dropping. So much to do. Hunting, hiking, biking, camping, fishing, wildlife watching, and so much more. Get ideas for you and your family to step outside on the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. That's outdoornebraska.gov, and we hope to see you out there. You know, it's time for hunting here in the Heartland, and before you go out, remember that safety needs to be your number one priority. Remind yourself to be doubly sure of that target and the background before you even aim. And in a moment, ask yourself, is that a legitimate target? Is the bullet flight path clear? And what am I going to hit if I miss my shot? You be safe out there. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
6:22 on a Tuesday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Download the BU Bruins app to your smartphone to keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus today. You know what Bellevue University doesn't need?
What's that?
A new head football coach.
No, they don't.
There are 12 now schools around the country that are looking for one. James Franklin has accepted the job at Virginia Tech. James Franklin in Blacksburg. Good fit?
Perfect fit.
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
When we did our coaching carousel predictions 2 weeks ago now, this is who I said I thought they would get. This is who I said I thought they should get, because personality and style, I think at certain institutions absolutely matters. James Franklin, defense first.
Offense sucks.
Hardcore, like
fits Virginia Tech perfect.
Run game style. I think it fits Virginia Tech perfect. I think Virginia Tech's going to start competing in the ACC.
Let me tell you why this was the perfect hire. Because it was the first one.
Oh, yeah.
In this coaching cycle, you don't – listen, I think it's a good fit on top of that. But with this hot board right now, you don't want to be the last one out there looking.
Musical chairs. Yeah.
Because when you talk about LSU, Penn State, Florida, Auburn, maybe Texas opening up, those 5 schools are probably going to get the cream of the crop at the top. I mean, they're all going to get better coaches than anybody in the ACC is going to. Now, with that being said, there's also the.
I bet you Florida doesn't get anybody better than James Franklin.
Listen, but that's a great point, because like how many people are going to? I mean, you could make that case that he was probably the best head coach available right now.
I don't think Auburn's going to get anyone better than James Franklin.
Depends upon what you define as best when you're referring to James Franklin.
This is a guy that made the Final Four a year ago.
Yeah, but you get fired from Penn State mid-season, which obviously means that your former employer had zero faith in the fact that you could turn it around whatsoever in your current job. And if I'm James Franklin, Virginia Tech is perfect for me. I'm not perfect for Virginia Tech, because it is the most low-stakes job out of all the ones that he could have taken, outside of going to like UAB.
You beat me to the punch.
Which would have been really funny.
It would have been funny. All right, Peter.
James Franklin and Colorado State.
Yeah, but like that's a good point, Dan. And a lot of people feel that way about him taking this job. Was okay, you took you left the high expectation job for maybe the lowest hanging fruit available outside maybe like Stanford, I guess. But to that point, yeah, there's Penn State and Florida and LSU out there. There's also Arkansas and Oklahoma State available, and Stanford. And this is a really bad time to be in this conversation.
Arkansas is going to have money. Oklahoma State's going to have some dough to throw around.
Are they? T. Boone's not walking back through the door.
Well, I know, but they've still got some high-powered donors there.
Sure. The Steve Sarkisian of it all makes it really interesting, because there's, the Desmond Howard video that came. Hopefully, I didn't steal the social media soundbite.
No, you didn't.
The Desmond Howard video that came out a couple of days ago about the Texas job opening. There's a lot of smoke to him taking the Tennessee Titans head coaching job. And I think that's obviously the only way that job were to open up is if he leaves the NFL. I don't think he's getting fired anytime soon.
Dude, if it's LSU, Penn State, Florida, Texas, Auburn open in the same year, that's like doomsday scenario.
The worst case, like if you're Auburn, you have to be clenched so tight right now. Like that's why I think the James Franklin move for Virginia Tech was so smart, because let's strike while the iron's hot, make the offer to the guy that we feel is probably going to be the pinnacle guy to go after.
Yep.
Because there's also a lot of smoke to the Lane Kiffin to LSU conversation.
His family was in Baton Rouge.
Virginia Tech's not getting Lane Kiffin.
All right. Hold on. The whole Lane Kiffin's family is in Baton Rouge thing. We need to put a pin in that for a little bit.
Okay.
Because people go and visit their boyfriends for a lot of different reasons.
Lane Kiffin's daughter's.
Lane Kiffin's daughter is dating.
You looked at me weird. I didn't know if you knew. Okay.
Guy at LSU.
Yeah, no, I get it.
He's a linebacker.
That's why they're there.
Allegedly.
They're there to support the boyfriend.
Allegedly.
But Dan, on the other side of that coin, you don't know that that's the only reason they're there. You can't say it's the only reason they're there.
I want Riffin with Kiffin forever at Ole Miss. If you want to, Lane Kiffin, this is your message right now. If you want to make Dan Campanen's crazy playoff bracket for next year, you stay in Ole Miss.
Lane in Oxford, 402-951-1620. We'd love to hear from you. But
he'd be the one guy to actually probably call.
We're better than Pat McAfee. I said it. The worst
You
spot
didn't have to say it. It was assumed.
The worst spot to be in, though, it's got to be UCLA, right?
It's a pretty bad spot to be in. A Big Ten school with no fan support
on the West Coast, and your athletic department's on the verge of bankruptcy.
Your program is
bad,
in the dumpster, and has been since Chip left.
Like, I'll hear Stanford and I'll hear Oklahoma State just because the conferences they're in, but I think the path to success is a lot easier for those schools than it is in the Big Ten.
Oh, with the right coaching staff and a good portal class, Oklahoma State could win the Big 12 next year.
Right. You could almost say the same thing about Stanford and the ACC.
Yeah. I don't know if I would say that. Clemson's still pretty good.
Are they?
Not this year.
Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Legacy-wise, they're good enough that they could do it.
Yeah. Clemson's still going to bring in a bunch of good recruits.
And there's still Miami with the, hey, guys, you know what's really fun about our university? South Beach. We're right here.
Well, and the Dabo discussion becomes really interesting next year if we just continue to see this downfall of Clemson football, which I don't think anyone in this room expects to happen. We'd expect this year to happen either.
Dabo just needs to get with the times, man.
You see it happening? Because I don't.
I don't either.
You know what I do see happening? I see Bob Williams of Williams Law joining us next on the other side of the break. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page. It was brought to you by Railcar. It is a Taste Test Tuesday. You want to be eating brunch this weekend on us? You could do so by heading over to our Twitter page at After Hours 1620. Cheer on the USA as they have their second goal of the night. And retweet the post about Taste Test Tuesday. That's right. You and your family could be getting a $25 gift card to Railcar to enjoy breakfast for dinner on us. Head over to Twitter tonight and share the post. Bob Williams, the long arm of the law, joins us next. We come back. 1620.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers, starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
Never settle for less.
Fall is the time to get to Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Stop in and see John, Dan, Jake, Deanna, Matt, and Monier the tailor. There's new fall apparel from Mizzen and Maine, Johnny O, Roan, and now pants from Brax. Stop by 78th and Dodge and look great for all of your fall events.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Railcar's happy hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8. And every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Railcar's incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Railcar Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
Leaves are falling and footballs are flying. It's the season to celebrate, but it's tough to relax when your furnace starts shaking, rattling, and rumbling every time it turns on. With a maintenance plan from Controlled Comfort, you can enjoy peace of mind all year long. Our comfort specialist will perform a full HVAC tune-up and ensure your system is operating efficiently and reliably. Schedule your maintenance appointment today at ControlledComfort.com.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
.633 on a Taste Test Tuesday on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus by downloading the BU Bruins app to your smartphone tonight. The man himself, Bob Williams of Williams Law, now joins us here on After Hours. Mr. Williams, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm great, gentlemen. How's it going? Hopefully my sound is working well tonight.
You're good.
The move out of your office was the right call. It seems to be the acoustics are much better in whatever room you are in now.
Excellent, excellent. Let's keep it rolling. How are you guys doing tonight?
What is the photo over your right shoulder?
Pictures of my kids on a trip from about 3 years ago. Yes.
Gotcha. All right. I'm just trying to make sure everybody's up to date on what is going on. Speaking of going ons, the UFC is dealing with a little bit of hot water right now. We just talked 2 weeks ago about the investigation with the FBI into the NBA and point shaving and players throwing games or at least rigging lines to take the under. It seems like there is an age-old adage happening in the fight game of guys taking a dive. When we talk about legal ramifications for players or athletes or fighters rigging the outcomes of games, does it surprise you that there really hasn't been jail time discussed for doing this?
Oh, I guess I don't know at this point in time. It probably should be discussed. I think we're really looking at who's damaged in the pocketbook more so. Is jail time really the hammer we're looking to hold? Possibly. I think some of these guys should be more worried about getting their ankles broken in a dark alleyway versus going to jail, honestly. And I do have a super, I mean, honestly, if you were one of these guys, I mean, if you're Butch from Pulp Fiction and Marcellus is after you, you're worried about more than going to jail, right?
Sure.
After throwing a fight, right? So question for you guys. So
Yeah.
I did not watch this fight with Bulgarian, but I know that he lost in the first after being a heavy favorite. What is a near naked choke?
It's a rear naked.
Rear
That's
naked,
what
not
I
near
read.
naked.
Yeah, it's where one fighter is behind the other with his
Rear
arm
naked
up.
choke or near naked choke? 'Cause they're a lot different.
Yeah, those
Very.
are different things.
There was also $16 million put in on this fight. The average UFC fight bet is somewhere around 400,000, and that's for the main events. This was a prelim undercard event. So we're just continuing this trend of not only are these guys doing this, they're doing it at a very stupid astronomical rate. And like honestly, I think there should be some jail time just for that, just for being dumb. You're dumb enough to do this. You should probably spend a little bit of time behind bars.
If there was jail time for stupidity, I think half the society would be in jail right now. And it's not a political joke either.
Yeah. So the question I have is, Dana White mentioned that he had heard from some or seen online or whatever that he's had other fighters come out and say, oh yeah, I've been approached about things like this before. And he's asking the question I think all of us are asking, like, well, why didn't you say something about it then when it happened? What could the ramifications for, if any of those allegations are proven that, these fighters were approached, but necessarily didn't go along with the plan to throw a fight? Could there be anything coming down the pipe for them?
Oh, I think certainly. I think you're talking about potential antitrust if you want to jump to the highest bar, highest tier. On the lower tier, you're probably looking at issues revolving terms of use for people betting through different betting services. What are their terms? When is a bet disqualified? I mean, I did see from the UFC itself, they held on to the purse, right? They did not disseminate the purse.
Correct.
For the runner-up on this. I don't know what his purse amount was, but I know that he got temporarily suspended and his purse was withheld. And I also saw that this trainer named James Krause had some prior type of violation or investigation from 2 or 3 years ago, where there was a potential either a shaving like this or a line betting scandal of some sort where he served a suspension. So, I mean,
Yeah, I believe he was the coach for Derek
definitely
Minor when he got in trouble as well.
Yeah, you're right. It was Minor. It was his fight. So yes, I think this pierces many tiers of potential violation when you're looking at antitrust as well. And I think if stuff like this would continue to happen, you could have congressional investigations as well when you're talking this amount of money.
When we talk about the process of vetting what is going on, Dana White was made aware of the amount of bets coming in on the fight before the fight happened. And let's say that he honestly did went through his due diligence and asked the fighters, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if it's this glaring and this clearly happens, could the UFC and Dana White himself be in any kind of purgatory for maybe not stepping in before the event in your eyes?
Well, let me ask you this before I answer that question. Did you guys watch the fight? And if so, to the untrained eye, what did your eyes tell you?
Honestly, it looked like a competitive bout. I didn't think it looked like it was really a thrown fight. I mean, we've seen fights like this go this way in the UFC.
Guys get slapped in the rear naked all the time.
Yeah, it's. But honestly, if you're going to throw a fight, that's probably the way you're going to do it. So you don't got to get knocked out. You can just go, I lose, and everybody goes home happy in theory. So
I made a mistake in my grappling, gave him my back. Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends. So I would like to know behind the scenes what the UFC's policies are on vetting input, because obviously the input started from betting sites, right, that track all this. They have immediate real-time data that comes in that shows that there's been an exorbitant amount of wages. Pardon me?
And DraftKings is a partner with the UFC.
Right. So they're tracking this stuff real time, and you see a flood of bets that seem uncommon, just like we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, certainly Dana should vet that immediately. And last thing he wants to do is stop a fight before it happens. But I think you're subjecting yourself to paying all kinds of penalties. You're certainly frustrating your fans. But if there is discussions of this heavy favorite potentially taking an early dive, and then it actually does happen, I mean, there's got to be some correlation there, I would think.
Yeah. Bob, is there any method that you know of for, let's say, a state athletic commission, in this case, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, to preempt a fight if there is irregular betting activity on it?
I can't give you a firm answer, but I think in most instances where you do have the NAC, as you mentioned, John, in this instance, I think absolutely if there were enough evidence that hit a threshold in their mind where they would need to stop a bout for either athlete protection or potential consumer protection, absolutely they could. Or I think what they would probably do is contact, if it wasn't about athlete safety, they could contact the people that make the betting lines, as well as the I guess companies like DraftKings and other partners of the events, and say, look, we're scratching any betting on this, or we're going to force you to cancel and refund any bets on this. The fight may still happen, but we're canceling any formal bets under this.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears for a second, because we're catching up with Bob Williams of Williams Law here on the After Hours Lounge, because we've all worked for a place that sucks or want to quit or be fired from, or you mistakenly buy a business that makes you spend too much time on the phone with the DMV or the Nebraska State Department of
who are you talking about?
Never mind. Anyway, but the New Jersey the DOJ of New Jersey have come out and filed a federal lawsuit in district court against the parent company of Madison Square Garden Entertainment, due to a previous employee there basically coming in saying that he was basically over visualized by the security cameras and was wrongfully treated because of his diabetes, and that he felt like the security cameras were set up more in place to view the employees versus the patrons, and he was basically over surveilled, and he and his coworkers. When we talk about working for a place that has security cameras up, I don't know, to keep certain people out of your garage and or see people coming in or out of a tailgate, where do people's basic civil rights stop when it comes to surveillance cameras for security's purposes?
That's an awesome question, and it's a very salient question, because we all go to events. I was just down at the CHI for a concert the other night. Go to many games for football and basketball and baseball. And who's the predominant family that owns the MSG? It's the Dolan family, right? The good old Dolan family tree there. So I think there's two main issues when you look at this from the 30,000 foot view. And again, right in this example, we're talking about a public venue, right? This is not a private venue. Or pardon me, this is a private venue. This isn't a city-owned venue, right? This is a for-profit business, so the rules are a little different. But we're really talking about issues such as, are patrons advised that they are being tracked, and at what level they are being tracked by this ever-changing AI software that's almost more real than fiction, right? I mean, this is
facial
crazy.
recognition.
Facial recognition is that right now, and if that data is being tracked, or if there is data that's being stored from these tracking devices, what's happening to that data? Is it being stored and saved? Is it being saved securely? Or is it being sold off to another bidder for whatever, business, sales, or possibly nefarious purposes there could be? Those are the two overarching questions. And when you're talking about a business such as MSG, really, they can refuse service to anyone unless it rises to a federal level of discrimination, which is, be age, sex, or in this case, they did allege age and a medical condition of diabetes. I'm not quite sure how that is necessarily tied into their lawsuit.
Right.
Did you guys catch that piece of that? I couldn't.
Yeah, I didn't know how diabetes played into a role, but I'm sure it was probably something to do with medicine or maybe a needle or something.
Well, but age certainly is a protected class when you're talking about this. But besides that, a business such as this can say, look, we're going to refuse service to anyone unless it violates one of these government rules, which is the discrimination. So really, it's a pretty wide swath of people that they can deny. But they were really looking to limit people from coming in that were attorneys and other people that worked for firms that had filed lawsuits or had pending lawsuits with MSG. And there was a parallel suit filed 3 or 4 years ago. It was just dismissed last year, and the court dismissed a plaintiff's case under similar and parallel guise because they showed that the data was not being sold off to a third party. Now, I think some of these rules are changing, and I got some trivia for you guys here. So of the 50 states, now currently there is no single federal law that requires consent and notification for facial recognition software or prohibiting it. But there are a number of states that have current active laws, and then a bigger number that are in the process of that. Can you guess out of 50 how many states have current active? This is statewide, not cities. Statewide of 50 have active laws that require that. I'll give you the requirements too before you take this guess. Here's what they require. They require that the attendee, the patron, they first of all have the right to know they're being surveilled. They must have consent given by those parties, and maybe that's just buying the ticket, but it is known, right? And then they may have or may not have a right to sue as a subcategory on that. How many of the 50 states do you think have active laws on the books?
I'm going to go 7.
That was my number, so I'll go 8.
And I'll go 5.
Sorry, Dan. What'd you guess,
5.
Dan?
5.
Dan just clicked on his AI tool, I think, on his computer. Yeah, it is 5. Yes, good guess, Dan. It's 5 currently, and it's Colorado, Oregon, Texas, Illinois, and Washington. And I did a little research. There are currently 23 states, including those 5, that have currently proposed legislation that does address this ever-evolving landscape. And I think it's very important because think of the data that can be shared. Now, when we think of AI recognition software, what were we thinking of? We're thinking about tracking bad guys, right? Isn't that where your mind immediately goes to even back to the Enemy of the State, that 20-year-old Will Smith movie, where it really kind of brought that to the forefront, if you guys remember that movie. But now they're using it for a lot of different reasons. I can tell you this, our federal government knows when you travel, where you travel, and who you travel with every single time you step into an airport. So this is some high tier software that's being used, and it's not going away anytime soon. So I think it's important that we as consumers do know what our rights are. And the problem we're going to run into is at some point, if you want to go to a game and you're simply purchasing a ticket or entering that venue, you're essentially consenting to that use. So I don't know how you get away from it and want to attend the event. You probably cannot do both.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you have any questions about your legal rights, head over to williamslawllc.com tonight. Bob, we appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week. Oh, really quickly, before we let you go, the Eagles going to score over one. Yeah. Hey, before we let you go, are the Eagles going to score more than one offensive touchdown next week?
I think they will score more than one offensive touchdown, and we'll still pencil in a win. I'm still waiting for Dan to buy me lunch from that game we actually forgot to bet on from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You're
two very good defenses.
You're in luck. You guys got the Cowboys.
Showed me a lot of good defense.
You guys got the Cowboys defense this week. You should be fine. That's Bob Williams, criminal, personal, civil. Head over to LLC.com tonight. Bob, we appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
If you missed Bob's segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. What's trending on social media? We find out. We come back this side of the break.
Hey, everybody. It's John here for Paul Davis Restoration. Is your house ready for the freeze of winter? Are you worried that there might be some structural problems that could result in water in your basement when we get the big spring meltdown? Have you had some water leaks? Do you have concerns about mold? Is there a part of your home that maybe got a little smoked out when you burned the cooking oil? If any of that is affecting you right now, call this number, 402-553-0373. That's Paul Davis Restoration. They'll come out. They'll fix your home back to the way it was before the damage happens. And if something does happen this winter, if a pipe bursts, if you get a leak somewhere, whatever, just call the number, 402-553-0373. Paul Davis will be out to your place in a flash, ready to get you back on track and living your best life. Call Paul Davis Restoration.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in the romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
It's cold weather season, and when it gets cold outside, pests want to come inside. From spiders to rodents, now's the time to prep your home for the winter months. An end-of-the-year pest control checkup can help keep the mice out of your walls, spiders out of your corners, and even prevent the occasional squirrel or raccoon from trying to make themselves at home. Don't let unwanted guests, besides your in-laws, crash your holidays. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Wrapping up the first hour here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin this winter. Dan Campinen sitting shotgun tonight, as he always is, flanked by Noah Houston behind him, which means time for the social media soundbite. Dan, what's trending on social media?
Well, we got to see a man that we all love to hate start a football game this past weekend.
John Schreiner?
No, I don't.
Why do you hate me?
I think
'Cause you're old.
John told us what his weekend plans were, and he didn't seem like he had enough time to fly up to Cleveland, Ohio, and to start for the Cleveland Browns at quarterback. Although
I forgot this happened. I'm so glad we're talking about this.
maybe John would have been better, but there have been a lot of takes today.
It'd be hard to be worse.
None better than the highest paid man at the four-letter network. Are we really surprised that Stephen A. Smith has something to say? My apologies. This computer has been acting very funny.
That's enough, though.
This whole time, there are like 12 clips just from First Take that are Stephen A. Smith, Cam
Absurd.
Newton, Ryan Clark, like everybody on First Take having differing, quote unquote, opinions about the Shedeur Sanders situation. All of them basically coming up to, why wasn't he starting in the first place?
Bro, he went 4 of 16.
With an interception.
It wasn't good, and he looked lost. Now, listen, he's also a rookie quarterback, and you're never going to find me being the Shedeur Sanders apologist, but he literally ran into a sack. I've never seen that happen. I listen, I didn't think he was a first-round guy then. I don't think he's a first-round guy now. It doesn't help that Cleveland is terrible either. But with that being said, he definitely should not have been starting from the beginning.
No.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
I think Dylan Gabriel is miles better than he is.
It's almost like NFL GMs knew what they were doing by not drafting him in the first
And it
4
may not have
rounds.
had anything to do with who his father is. What a weird concept.
Yeah. It may not have had anything to do with his attitude because, I mean, I don't know if you know this. There have been a lot of really good football players with bad attitudes who've gotten drafted really high.
Like, this stands out to us because we're Nebraska fans. That pick 6 that Tommy Hill walked in was a really bad, really late, against your body to the long side of the field throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's 101 you don't do. Now, granted, that was the play call too. That's also another problem. But it was a bad throw. And there was a lot of those in Colorado.
Well, like if you're going to sit there and say that the Cleveland Browns are sabotaging the career of Shedeur Sanders, what are we talking about, man? You're telling me that this franchise would rather lose games to spite a player that's on their roster
Who's
that
the
they
third string
drafted
quarterback? Yeah. Yeah.
than him be good? They are. You're telling me they're that petty? I don't believe it.
Why would you draft him in the first place then? You wouldn't. Nobody would.
You wouldn't.
The one narrative around all of this that has seemed to begin to crop up on Twitter, and yes, I realize that Twitter narratives are the worst narratives,
Famously.
but people have been likening Shedeur Sanders as a la the Angel Reese of the NFL.
No.
And I'm here to tell you right now.
In what way?
If you're going to put on the Cleveland Browns are racist because they're not starting Shedeur Sanders from the beginning, may I point you to Pacific Island heritage Dylan Gabriel, who is a person of color May I point you towards Joe Flacco, who is a veteran quarterback who they said we need to bring in someone to teach the young pups how to play the quarterback position. They're giving Shedeur Sanders a shot.
Dan, I can't believe
To
you
play
would be so
quarterback.
ageist as to
Well,
say that
Joe Flacco is famously very old, so that makes sense.
A man who
40.
he's finally realized that eating alone is the greatest feeling in the world.
No.
That's how old
It's
he is.
Stupid. It's terrible, stupid narratives from people with an axe to grind.
How do you call a franchise racist that paid a person of color the most money guaranteed to any player in history?
Look, man,
who happens to be a person of color? That doesn't quite compute.
There's a whole bunch of people right now who are starting to realize how very incredibly wrong about Shedeur Sanders they were, and they do not have the appetite for that crow. Like a whole bunch of talking heads on TV shows and radios across the country were very wrong about Shedeur Sanders, and it's being shoved down their throats, and they don't like it. So they're trying to invent things that make them look better.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you want to have like a really good laugh on the other end of this conversation, like the extremely positive, like smell all of the roses and how good life can be, go look up what Skip Bayless said about Shedeur Sanders after this game, and you will fall on the floor laughing.
I implore
it is that good.
I implore people to realize that a lot of people that are saying these things or looking for maybe excuses for Shedeur Sanders, clickbait, but also probably are pretty good friends with Deion Sanders also. And that probably has some bit of it to do with it as well. Speaking of eating crow, I think I'm going to have to eat some on the other side of the break about another NFL quarterback. We come back. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Recon Pest Control. Listen, it's starting to get cold outside. You don't want to let the critters inside, those raccoons, those mice. They're going to start looking for homes for the winter, and you don't want to be the hibernation cave for them. Head over to ReconPestServices.com and sign up for Recon's Pest Services before it gets too cold outside, or before Mama Raccoon moves her pups in before it gets too cold outside. Check out ReconPestServices.com tonight. We'll be right back. Buying or selling on the NFL 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they can do it all. They've saved my hide a number of times. Thanksgiving last year, they came out and they fixed my drain from backing up long term. How'd they do that? They came out and water jetted my line out to the street. Keynote here, it was still warm out on Thanksgiving last year, and before it gets too cold outside, if you're starting to see water back up in your house, you need to have water jetting services done at your home. Head over to AXPService.com tonight. Maybe you have big-time plumbing problems, but not a big-time plumbing budget. There's financing available on the website as well. Check out AXPService.com and stop worrying about the water backing up in your house tonight.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
The real game changer in college athletics? It's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you. And for college sports, visit BUBruins.com.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Leaves are falling and footballs are flying. It's the season to celebrate, but it's tough to relax when your furnace starts shaking, rattling, and rumbling every time it turns on. With a maintenance plan from Controlled Comfort, you can enjoy peace of mind all year long. Our comfort specialist will perform a full HVAC tune-up and ensure your system is operating efficiently and reliably. Schedule your maintenance appointment today at ControlledComfort.com.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Hello there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. And yes, time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, what a great time to be enjoying the great outdoors of Nebraska as these days get shorter and cooler, leaves start changing color and dropping. So much to do: hunting, hiking, biking, camping, fishing, wildlife watching, and so much more. Get ideas for you and your family to step outside on the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. That's outdoornebraska.gov, and we hope to see you out there. You know, it's time for hunting here in the Heartland, and before you go out, remember that safety needs to be your #1 priority. Remind yourself to be doubly sure of that target and the background before you even aim. And in a moment, ask yourself, is that a legitimate target? Is the bullet flight path clear? And what am I going to hit if I miss my shot? You be safe out there. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Top of the second hour here on 1620 The Zone. Brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You'll become #1 in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to PyramidRoof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out PyramidRoof.com tonight. It is time for Buy or Sell, where Dan Campion and Noah Houston have some questions for us to discuss in the sporting world. Noah, you leading Buy or Sell tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and step up to the mic and do what you do.
So, guys, after a 1-5 start and getting Lamar Jackson back, don't look now. The Ravens have won 4 straight. Buy or sell. It's time to start having the conversation about the Ravens being a super contender again.
I buy, because not only is it getting Lamar Jackson back, and that's #1, #1A, #2, and #3, but #4, this defense looks like a contender again. That's important. It feels like John Harbaugh's got that side of the ball figured out also. I think the Ravens are absolutely in that discussion again.
Yeah, they've got work to do. Look, like they can't afford to have a rough patch. But I mean, look, if they make it to the tournament,
you don't want to see them.
You don't want to see that team.
Well, it helps that they finish out with the Jets, the Bengals twice, the Steelers twice, the Patriots, and some crappy team called the Packers. So.
Yeah, those 2 Steelers games are going to be crucial.
Fair. Yeah, absolutely. And you might be in luck because they finished the season out with them. that the season may be over for Pittsburgh by that point. So,
especially if A-Rod's wrist doesn't get better.
For sure.
Yeah.
No?
All right. Well, for me, I think it's a sell for the Ravens because the AFC is going to be tough. Like, you got the Colts, you got the Bills, and you still got the Chiefs in there. So, to me, yeah, the Ravens are getting healthier and Lamar's back, but they're probably going to make it all the way to the second round at best.
Yeah, and
I noticed you left out the Broncos in that discussion there, Noah.
I mean, yeah, the Broncos are good too, but we'll have to see if they finish the season out well.
What's number 2, Noah?
Flip side of that argument, the Chiefs are now 500 and have lost 2 straight.
Uh-oh.
Buy or sell, we need to have a discussion about the defending AFC champions missing the playoffs.
Noah, I know you're not going to want to hear this. I'm buying this. I think the Chiefs are in a little bit of trouble. Now, the one caveat, you still got Patrick Mahomes, you still got Andy Reid, and that's good enough to figure it out by the end of the season. They got a lot of problems, and it doesn't seem to be one thing. It's a collective of things, and law of averages says they're going to miss the playoffs eventually, right?
Well, I mean, not necessarily, but look, I don't think so. I think this is still a team that's going to figure it out. Like, they've got to be able to run the ball better than they have been, and I don't know what's going on with the defense, but it doesn't look the same. They need a wake-up call, and maybe this loss to the Broncos was it. I still think they're going to make the playoffs.
So I got sell because the Chiefs' schedule looking ahead, I mean, it doesn't really look that bad, especially on the road, because the 4 road losses the Chiefs had were against teams above 500.
True.
And what's looking like for them, they're playing the Colts at home, then they're playing the Cowboys on Thanksgiving on the road. Then they got Houston, then Chargers at home, Tennessee on the road, Denver at home, Raiders on the road. It's very winnable for the Chiefs.
I got them going 500 down the stretch too. They miss the playoffs. They go 500 down the stretch. They're not making the playoffs with a 500 record.
I mean, they're beating the Titans. They're beating the Raiders. Like,
I think
no
they
doubt.
could. Listen, I have been on this train for a while. I don't think the Colts are very good. I think they're a little bit of fool's gold, so I think they can absolutely win that game. I think they're going to lose to Dallas on Thanksgiving. I think they're going to lose to the Chargers. I think they're going to lose to the Broncos. That's 500.
I don't
got
know.
The Chiefs going 12-5.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Chiefs.
Oh, that's right. Okay, it's weird how that works. All right, what's number 3?
AJ Brown is pissed. The Eagles haven't scored more than 16 points in 3 weeks. Buy or sell, it's time to hit the panic button on the defending Super Bowl champions.
Sell. It's not time to hit the panic button. They're still leading their division. They're still one of the best teams in the NFC. I think the thing that can bite this team, though, is locker room discontent. And if A.J. Brown's attitude and comments are any indication, there might be some locker room discontent. If this continues, it could be a problem. I don't think it's panic button time, but there are certainly some itchy fingers ready to start pressing that button.
You know why it's a sell? That defense still lining up on Sundays?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not panicking. They could score 7, and I don't know if I'd necessarily panic because that defense is that good. With that being said, like, it's so weird how we have these cycles with Nick Sirianni, right? It's like, he's a genius. He's an idiot. He's a genius. He's an idiot. He's a genius. He's an idiot. It just goes round and round and round and round, and it just circles around this one. He's just not a very likable person, and it kind of feels like A.J. Brown isn't speaking for A.J. Brown, right? Doesn't this kind of feel like this might be a, hey, we all found this kind of to be the case, and that guy likes to talk? Hey, A.J., how do you feel about this? And then he went to the media about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to know. Like, unless you're in that room as a witness, it's hard to know exactly what's going on. But
all I'm saying is that Nick Sirianni might have the most punchable face in the world.
Oh, not even close.
It's up there.
So I got sell because the Eagles defense has just been on fire this season.
And last season and the year before that.
Yeah. And the Eagles offense, though, meanwhile, has been awful the past 3 weeks. And A.J. Brown has been frustrated about not getting the ball. The Eagles are still that team that could definitely be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, but when you get to the postseason, what's portable? Run game.
And defense.
Have you seen who do they have on the offensive line again? Oh, a bunch of all pros.
Yeah, they'll
Yep.
be all right.
Who's the running back?
He's pretty good. He bench press
He's
or squats a
fine.
lot. Yeah.
Saquon.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
As long as they can like keep the locker room discontent down, they'll be fine.
Yep.
Speaking of locker room discontent, what's next, Noah?
Jamar Chase told the media he never opened his mouth when he was accused of spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Chase has now been suspended without pay by the league. Buy or sell, the punishment fits the crime.
Sell, because I think you should be suspended more. Not only did you do it, you lied about doing it, and it was on camera. Like, do they not realize how many cameras are actually on the field? Like, you can't get away with this, and then you can't lie about it. You know what? More importantly, it seems like there's a spitting problem in the NFL. Remember back to week 1?
Yeah.
This is an issue in the Dallas game. Like, there just seems to be like, guys, just throw fists. Grow up.
Well, do you remember in kindergarten when you learned that hitting people and spitting on people was bad? Do you guys remember that?
Still the
Did we forget what happened when we were 5 years old and we knew better than to spit on people? Come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Absolutely suspend him.
Yeah, I got sell because it's ridiculous what Jamar Chase did. I get it. Jalen Ramsey is the biggest trash talker out there.
Yeah, he's pretty
but
good at it.
Jamar Chase, he's got to be careful. And when I saw him on the media, I knew he was lying because I could see it all in video. It's just unfortunate.
Well, and he should know that, right? Like, it's like, hey, man, you're on TV every week.
I have him on my fantasy too.
I do too, man. And I need him to get his act together.
Makes 3 of us.
Need to get his poop in a group.
Yep.
Dan?
Just means more touches for Chase Brown, so who really cares?
I'm fine with that also, by the way.
Yeah. Boys,
Hey, no, will you turn his microphone up a little bit?
Yeah.
There you go.
I thought I was up enough. Boys, our teams, my Green Bay Packers, whom I am the proud owner of, are 6-3. Please warm my cockles and post the meme, Jimmy.
Can do.
Jimmy, your 49ers, they're 7-4. And John, as you said earlier, football season is officially canceled in the National Football League for you because your Washington Commanders are 3-8. No buy or sell here. Just how do you feel about the state of your team after week 10? John, you first.
I feel right because I told you all that Washington's defense was going to be terrible again because they didn't address any of the problems that they had last year. They just said, we made it to the NFC Championship game with that group. Let's try that again. And it didn't work, just as I told you it wouldn't work. And, like, they have to fix the defense. Like, you are wasting Jaden Daniels' years. Like, I know he's hurt, so fine, whatever. But if you don't fix the defense in this offseason, like, what are we talking about? Everybody knew that the defense was the problem, and they didn't do anything about it.
Didn't they add Von Miller at one point? Was that a thing?
God.
Yeah.
He's still on the sidelines.
I know. I
He's
asked,
there.
I asked that tongue in cheek.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's there.
Brock Purdy's going to be back this week for the 49ers. That's fine, I guess. Listen, I said it when he was coming out of college. Thought Mac Jones should have been the pick of that draft. It'd have been a much different conversation. I did not think they should have given Brock Purdy or Juwan Jennings or half the people that they paid money to last year the money that they paid to them. Now, I also think that Brock Purdy's pretty good. And also, I feel like you could probably go get Joe Montana out of retirement right now, and Kyle Shanahan could coach him to a Super Bowl. So, with that being said, are you healthy?
No.
Is Christian McCaffrey okay? I feel pretty fine.
Your defense is definitely not healthy.
Healthy for the situation they're in right now. Like, just get to the end of the season with this team, with everybody that's available on Sunday, available at the end of the year. We'll be fine.
That's funny that you bring up health, Jimmy.
Yeah. Dan,
Because
thoughts on the health
I'm
of the Green Bay
exact
Packers?
opposite end of
Yeah.
that spectrum right now. Is Josh Jacobs healthy? Well, we'll see, because apparently his injury isn't season ending, but it was enough to bring him out of the game. And now I know you're protecting that investment, and that's very important to everybody in Wisconsin and in Packerland, just in general. But Jordan Love, after breaking his left hand in like the first week of the season, now exits the game, and it turns into the Malik Willis show, which is fine.
Is it?
Malik Willis at least
not fine, Dan.
Is it?
It's not fine.
Malik Willis at least has
Hey,
a
you
head
guys
and 2 arms
Beat
and
the Giants.
knows how to
Yay.
like throw the football. But yes, it was a 27-20 win over the Giants, so that doesn't make me happy. Luke Musgraves is out for the season, or not Luke Musgraves.
I was like, who?
The other Tucker Kraft is out for the entire season.
Malik Willis is the classic guy where a coach said, "We got this real fast guy. We're going to play him at quarterback."
Now here's a
and
guy.
the OC goes, "Can he throw?" And the head coach goes, "He's got arms, don't he?"
Hey, listen, he 100% completion rate on Sunday.
But it's
only threw 2 of them, but
it's 6-3, and it's starting to look
a lot like Christmas.
Bleaker and bleaker, just in general. My outlook on the Packers every single week, because next week we've got the Thanksgiving game against the Lions. That will be
they're good
real dipstick as to how this team can actually handle the pressure.
I don't know if I've ever heard that phrase. A real dipstick.
And then I don't know if you've been.
I got it. I knew where he's going.
Yeah, I don't know if you've.
That's just definitely not the
paying
phrase.
at all attention to the NFC North, but
The toughest division in all of football.
I might have to find a window and scream out of it and apologize to the entire world, and specifically the Chicagoland area, because Caleb Williams might actually understand how
Can we
to
pump the brakes?
move that
Hold on.
offense a little bit.
No. Stop. I am not going to allow you, of all people, to die on the Caleb Williams is good train. This is Ben Johnson, and he's got a suitable quarterback to run his offense. This is not Caleb Williams is good.
Caleb Williams
I
is
will
average.
not allow that on this show. I will not allow you, the proud owner of the Green Bay Packers, to sit here and push that narrative on this show, because it's not true. It's not true.
He's average.
I got an interesting thought for you guys, because this is just something I was thinking about when I just mentioned the Giants a minute ago. I famously have been a defender of all things Brian Daboll since basically he's been there.
Yep. Well, he got nothing to defend now.
He'd be really interesting in a college situation, wouldn't he? I think he could recruit.
I don't know.
I think he's got the personality to lead a college team, and there's clearly enough jobs going around. Somebody's going to want to hire him.
Colorado State.
Wouldn't he be interesting with a bunch of money behind him, though? Like, what if Brian Daboll was next head coach at LSU?
Yeah, I don't know.
Be an interesting state.
Weirder things have happened.
I agree.
will say weirder things.
We're going to tell you what we got
like
right.
A guy Penn State would hire.
We're going to say what we got right, what we got wrong, what we didn't see coming this weekend in college football. We come back. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. I was just telling the guys in the in the break that at my business, we had to call somebody. It wasn't up to me who we called, and we had a run-of-the-mill HVAC company come out. They almost killed us. They left their gas on. It was not good. Controlled Comfort came out. They fixed and remedied the whole situation. They replaced our garage heater as well, and they made sure that safety was the priority. If you want to make sure that safety is the priority in your house or your business, check out controlledcomfort.com tonight. We'll be right back. We'll tell you what we got right, what we got wrong, and what we did not see coming here on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast from the Boys Town Ear, Nose, and Throat Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7.
Cloudy and cool tonight with a low temperature in the upper 30s to around 40. Mostly cloudy to start off Wednesday, then skies turning partly sunny with a high temperature in the low to mid 50s. Even nicer and milder on Thursday. I am Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers, starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:23 on a Taste Test Tuesday here on 1620 Zone. Not too late to head over to our Twitter page at After Hours 1620. Retweet the tweet from our friends at Railcar. You could be having brunch on us this weekend. Just retweet, follow us.
Do it.
You could be having some great chilaquiles on Saturday, courtesy of John Schreiner. What do we get right? What do we get wrong? What do we not see coming this weekend in college football? I will go ahead and start us off.
Start us off, Jimmy.
I was right about Notre Dame. Not winning this weekend, that was obvious. I was right about Notre Dame before the season started. I told you, John Schreiner, I told you in your radio car listening right now, in your car listening to the radio right now.
Yeah. I have a radio car.
Car Ramrod. That Notre Dame was going to start the season 0-2. And it was never going to matter at the end of the year because they were going to make the college football playoff anyway. They have a 97.4% chance of beating Syracuse on Saturday. They have a 94.8% chance of beating Stanford, according to ESPN's matchup predictor on ESPN.com. They have zero fear about worrying about having to play a conference championship game. They are college football playoff bound. And somebody try to convince me right now why Notre Dame would ever consider joining a super conference or the split. They have nothing to lose.
No. They can play whoever they want. They can make millions of dollars doing it and make the playoff every year. So, again, we've seen the clear indications that it doesn't matter who you play, just that you win enough games.
And it's clearly going to happen.
Yeah.
What do you
got? I was right about USC because I said that I thought they would beat Iowa. And there was a whole bunch of people who said, no, USC is not very good. They're actually not that good.
A lot of people that thought Iowa was going to win that game by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Nope. I didn't think that Iowa team would be able to travel. I don't think that offense is good enough. Mark Gronowski turns out not the answer. Iowa's just okay. They're fine. They're the same Iowa team that they've been forever. They're really, really, really good on defense and mediocre on offense. Like, they'll beat up on a bunch of bad teams, but when a team can score more than 20 points on them, they're going to struggle to win. That's Iowa.
No, did you have a hot take that you were right about this weekend in college football?
I had Iowa beating USC.
That would be wrong then. So, okay, you're the opposite of what John Schreiner was just talking about. Yeah. We'll go to wrong then real quick, because you know what I was wrong about? I'll go back to the beginning of the season. I was wrong about Oklahoma. I thought Brent Venables would be fired by this point of the season. Now, John Mateer isn't the dude he was at the beginning of the year, clearly. But that doesn't even seem to matter. That defense in Norman is elite. That's why you hire Brent Venables in the first place, right? They've got to get by Missouri and LSU, both at home to close out the season. But they very well may be a college football playoff contender and college football bound at this point after knocking off Alabama this weekend.
Well, I had Oklahoma also because I did not see them going to Tuscaloosa and winning. I had no indication that was
fire,
possible.
Kalen DeBoer.
So I'm going back to an old one that keeps returning to just bite me in the ass over and over and over again. Baylor. I thought Baylor was going to win the Big 12, man.
So listen, I thought K-State was going to, so we can just say we were wrong about the Big 12
because I just fell in love with the way Sawyer Robertson plays the game, and man, we have to have the conversation about Dave Aranda again.
Listen, I don't think there's any way Dave Aranda gets fired.
No, not this year.
Because what are you going to do? Be the 14th place for the best possible coach?
No, but man,
who wants that to happen?
5-5, 3-4 in the Big 12. They have just like Dave Aranda's a defense guy, right? Am I wrong there? No.
Allegedly.
Yeah. They gave up 55 to Utah.
And they're currently in 11th place in the Big 12.
They
might not win it this year.
I don't get it.
Gotta go to live.
I was so wrong about Baylor.
What I did not see coming this season, if the season were to end today, James Madison would be the Group of 5 representative, not coached by Kurt Cignetti anymore, famously. But they're right now the front runner for the Group of 5 spot. They finished with Washington State and Coastal Carolina. And by the way, is Coastal Carolina just going by Coastal now? Is that a thing? Okay, that's how they're represented on ESPN. I thought that was very weird. I didn't know if I missed the boat. Apparently I did. But
I actually think it might be North Texas.
That's the other narrative here, right? Is they possibly could. But how awesome would it be to get a number five seed Indiana
against JMU,
taking on JMU in the Kurt Cignetti Bowl in the college football playoff?
That'd be hilarious.
Could be a possibility.
Yeah.
What do you got? What did you not see?
Didn't see coming is Northwestern, man. I really did not think Northwestern was going to be any good this year.
I like David Braun. Man.
Did not see
very
how
adamant about that.
They were going to compete. They took Michigan to the absolute
They should have
wire,
won that game.
And they absolutely should have won that game.
They're competitive with USC. They took Nebraska down to the wire too.
Northwestern has been the surprise team of the Big Ten for me this year.
That's going to do it for what we got right, what we got wrong, what we didn't see coming. We got to talk to Brian Munson from Husker Online and On 3 Next. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620 The Zone. It was brought to you by our friends at Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Listen, you know that fall is here. It's going to start getting colder before you know it. What you need to do is you need to get the best Creighton gear for hoop season for Peter Millar, Johnny O, Cutter and Buck, and this season's gear for Mizzen and Maine. Just hit the rack. That's right. Hoodie sizes, quarter zips, all that, jackets. Shop where Coach Mac shops at. That's right. You might stop in, see Murph in the group hanging out in there. There's been a couple players. Jason Green was just in the other day. Shop where the Blue Jays shop. Shop at Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Stop by 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Brian Munson, Husker Online On 3, joins us next. We come back. 1620 Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Railcar on your Taste Test Tuesday. Have you retweeted the picture from Railcar yet? If you haven't, you need to get yourself over to your social media accounts, repost that picture because you could be entered into a drawing for a $25 gift card, and you could get some of the sweet, delicious, tasty food that we got from the Railcar brunch menu tonight. Let me tell you about the Croque Madame. It is a piece of sourdough toast with a huge, like a literally giant pile of ham on it, 2 eggs on top, and it is so great. The smoked ham, the kind of the chewy gooiness of the egg, the crispiness of the toast. You pair that with the in-house made hash browns that they have. Man, I'm telling you, it is a perfect breakfast item. You got to get yourself to Railcar this weekend. 144th and Blondo. Get in there for brunch. Check out the Croque Madame or try the chilaquiles. They're fantastic. Everything on the menu is great. Nutella French toast, that was also really, really good. We got the crab cake Benedict. You can't go wrong. You can just close your eyes, point at the menu. You're going to get something good. Get in there this weekend for brunch. It's Railcar on 144th and Blondo.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Life is unpredictable. With seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner, you can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience from their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen, where you get to watch the magic happen, to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday, and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
It's cold weather season, and when it gets cold outside, pests want to come inside. From spiders to rodents, now's the time to prep your home for the winter months. An end-of-the-year pest control checkup can help keep the mice out of your walls, spiders out of your corners, and even prevent the occasional squirrel or raccoon from trying to make themselves at home. Don't let unwanted guests, besides your in-laws, crash your holidays. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Hey there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. It's time for hunting here in the Heartland. And before you go out, remember that safety needs to be your #1 priority. Remind yourself to be doubly sure of your target and background before you even aim. And in a moment, ask yourself, is that a legitimate target? Is the bullet flight path clear? And what am I going to hit if I miss my shot? Be safe out there. I'm Greg Wagner.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:35 on a Taste Test Tuesday at 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You know, become #1 for over a decade by accident. Head over to PyramidRoof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can do it all. Speaking of do it all, the do it all man from Husker Online on 3, Brian Munson, now joins us. B. Munson, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Was that Slade that was playing my intro music? Was that Slade?
I believe it was.
Oh my gosh!
And a lot of people say that's one thing. A lot of people say about Brian Munson. He definitely slayed back in the day.
Yeah, I think that song's called Chameleon, if I remember correctly.
Dan Campion, when you get a chance, can you tell us what the last bump music song was played? Was called?
I think it's Slade Chameleon. If you got a chance.
We got it. Well, Dan is doing some crack research as we speak.
Who would have thought I was named that tune coming into this segment?
It is Runaway by Slade.
Runaway.
There you go. Okay. There you go. But you got the band right. You're halfway there. Let's talk about something you know even more about, and that's Husker recruiting. When we talk about the 2027 class and Trey Taylor and everything that is being built towards that year, how imperative is it for Nebraska after losing an offensive line commit this weekend to win out to kind of keep that thing building towards 2027?
I think it's important. The 2027 group is interesting because, so many of them, of those guys that will end up joining Trey in part of the class has already been in Nebraska, multiple times now.
Sure.
They've been there this summer. They've been there at least one time earlier this fall. I think that they've seen that the team is going in the right direction. I think that they've been impressed by the home environment. They have the home atmosphere. They get there on a game day weekends. But I think they also know that, 2027 class is going to be a one of huge emphasis in how the kind of program takes the next step. That being said, I'm actually writing it right in the middle of the segment, honestly, in talking about, while Trey Taylor is, huge to how well the 2027 class is started out with, and, he wants to turn his attention to 2028. He has to help close the 2026 group first. And in all honesty, I think the 2026 group, particularly the guys they have coming in for official visits, next weekend on next Friday, it's pretty critical. They're actually in the running now for a few, a portal transfer, a few junior college guys who could really come in and get some rotational type play, in the following season. Big offensive lineman that could help take some pressure off of losing a guy like Rocco. So I think it is important for Nebraska to finish strong. But I think it's also important, for Trey to kind of eyes on 2026, close the group, focus attention on 2027. And he gets to start doing actually some of that 2027 recruiting, keep doing it through the winter months when he's going to be doing 7-on-7. So it's kind of a year round thing for him. He's like a fireman. He doesn't take off his hat and stop being a fireman. He remains a quarterback commitment for Nebraska at all times. And I think that that's something that Nebraska fans are just not aware of. He's constantly advocating, for Nebraska, with recruits for Nebraska. And I think that that's going to remain happening even when he's not on campus in Lincoln.
There was an interesting Twitter exchange yesterday that you reposted. Tay Ellis, who's a 4-star wide receiver commit, guaranteed that Amir Brown and Ahmad Hudson are coming to Nebraska. What do we even make of this at this point? Because Amir Brown's being really coy about it, being like, is Nebraska home?
Yeah. And Hudson's putting Nebraska into what, a top 10,
top 12, I think is what I saw. Yeah.
Even more coy with it if it's going to be home for him. But I think Ellis is becoming very quickly, I think, a fan favorite for Nebraska fans when it comes to social media. He's brash. He's confident. If you really go back to and you say, well, okay, but can he play football? Well, South Lake Carroll,
they're known for a thing or two.
They legitimately took their Ohio State wide receiver commitment and put him on defense to cover Tay Ellis. That's how good Tay Ellis is as a wide receiver. So Tay Ellis has this kind of got all the things going on for him. He has amazing ability. He's really going to be that kind of offensive weapon. He's really tight with Trey Taylor already, and he's got this confidence that I think, is kind of lacking just, overall across the board when it comes to team, which I think it's taken a step forward because this is a team that's had to consistently look in the mirror after, single score loss games. And now they're on the other end of those for the most part. And so I think that they're gaining some of that confidence back in themselves, but it's a pretty slow roll. But then you take a guy like Tay and you put him into an offense with his buddy Trey, and you give him a guy like Hudson and Amir, and other guys around him also to kind of help things out, guys that he's familiar with. And I think things can really take off. But I think until that happens, honestly, if you're not following Tay on Twitter, you need to, because I think you're going to see a lot more of this stuff over the next 12, 13 months anyway, when it comes to him encouraging, other recruits to kind of jump in there and join the class.
Yeah, that's at Antavius Ellis.
I want to go back to what
Yes,
Antavius,
that's right.
I want to go back to what I mentioned a minute ago. Obviously, the news of Leon Noel Jr. decommitting from Nebraska this weekend.
Yeah.
Offensive line is not really something of a focal point in either the 26 or the 27 class right now. Is it fair to say that this coaching staff is going to try to make their hay on the offense and defensive line in the portal?
Well, I mean, you still have 3 commitments in the 2026 class, right? You got Impuma, you got Ainsworth, and you got Waterman. The thing about those 3 players, however, I mean, maybe with the exception of Ainsworth, who could play right tackle, probably more of a right guard. I mean, you're looking at 2 guards and a tackle. Honestly, I think Leon was probably going to be an interior guy as well. Maybe Waterman can play center, and maybe there was an opportunity for 2 centers or 2 guards in the center. Who really knows at this point? But I think what you're gonna see is, Nebraska's obviously gonna bring in a big junior college guy next weekend.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be active. They're gonna be active again, trying to find some value and probably a slam dunk kind of guy at offensive tackle. They still need to kind of keep building and putting bodies there. I mean, look at what happened in a single game. Prohaska goes down with an injury. Pritchett goes out with like the craziest crown of the helmet kind of, disqualifying penalty I've ever seen before on offense. And then all of a sudden you were really down to, like 2 of your, like some guys that just weren't planning on playing an offensive tackle that night. So anyway, I think that they need to get another slam dunk guy. And I think that they need to go kind of keep continuing to stockpile players there. I think Impuma is going to be a really interesting guy to kind of see, but he's a long way away from, being Big Ten ready. This is a guy that thought he was going to be playing college basketball, as of like a year or 2 ago. So yeah, I think they're going to be very active in the portal looking for offensive tackles. I think that maybe there's a chance that they could get, maybe they can still find maybe a defensive lineman somewhere. But I think ultimately it's still gonna come down to, trying to find somebody in the portal that can look like a guy that they just didn't have, somebody that can kind of plug up the middle a little bit more. Hutmacher. I mean, I think everybody's very excited about maybe getting Tyson Terry back next year.
Oh yeah,
what he can kind of do inside. But I think even if you do, even though Van Poppel played very strong, recently here. I think you're still looking for, another 6'3", 300-pound plus kind of guy that you can put there in the middle and kind of just make big piles of bodies. Let's just put it that way.
On the other side of that discussion, Brian, is this time of year is when we start wondering who's out, right? Which player from Nebraska or which group of players from Nebraska are likely to enter the portal. And like the guys who are further down the depth chart and don't play, like you expect to lose a few of those. Is there anyone who's like seeing at least some time on the field this season that you think might be someone who could find their way into the portal and be playing somewhere else next year?
I mean, it's always just totally speculative. I mean, I think we've gotten pretty good indication though that McGahee is probably mulling over, or he decided that he's going to go ahead and enter the portal after kind of taking an abrupt redshirt year there in the middle of the season. I guess I'm always concerned with, and I guess I am as well this year. As well as Nebraska has been doing recruiting the wide receiver position. It typically puts some guys outside of that rotation for the top 5 or top 6 players that you're going to kind of put there at that spot. And I'm sure there's some players that felt like they could have had more of an impact. And I think that's always going to be a spot that my eyes are going to kind of land on and see what's going to kind of happen there a little bit. Because, I mean, as of right now, Nebraska's bringing in a couple in the 2026 class, maybe a third if they can get Quade Hendricks to join them. So that's kind of indicating to me that, maybe there's some stuff that could be moving there. Obviously, besides moving, losing out on Bonwell Whitty as part of the class. But I always kind of focus on wide receivers. And I'd say even just like going back to that really large group of defensive backs, I think I'd be focused on that back end too a little bit.
You worried about the Buffalo Bills at all?
Well, it seems like every time they kind of roll out with a brand new wrinkle, something always happens, and it usually involves an injury. So, like McCole Hardeman, had a great return, got involved right away, and then ends up leaving with a calf injury. They seem to kind of put their best foot forward, and then all of a sudden something gets taken away, and they got to make another adjustment for it. So the inconsistencies with the game plan and the personnel really bother me. Whenever teams also sell out to stop Cook, it really puts a lot of pressure on Josh to have to go out there and win the football game. Now, this last weekend was just quintessential Josh Allen. First throw from scrimmage was kind of a Dr. Pepper like throw interception inside the 15. But then he goes off and runs for 3 and throws for 3 and has another pick. I mean, I don't know any owners or GMs or fantasy football managers that would kind of be upset with a 6 touchdown performance at all. But this team still has some questions to me. Like I don't even know how they can really like stop the run. Big running backs give them a very, very, very hard time right now. And I don't know what they're going to do about that. They're not going to get Ed Oliver back. Ed Oliver's not coming back anytime soon. So they got to start figuring it out.
What's your favorite color?
Favorite color? God, come on, man. You got to go red.
Okay.
You got to go red.
That's it for our obscure questions for you tonight, Brian. We appreciate it. Thanks, man. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, guys, be good.
That's Brian Mutzer from Husker Online on 3. If you missed this segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. You can figure out what his favorite color was. It was brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration. Seasonal storms have come to an end, but have the long-term effects of them affected your house long-term as well? If you don't have the answer to those questions, you need to make sure there's not ice dams built up in your house over the winter. You need to make sure that the windows aren't leaking. All of that can be fixed by Paul Davis Restoration. Call 402-553-0373. Tonight, we're going to give you our trash takes of the night and wrap up a Tuesday on 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for our friends at AX Plumbing. 'Tis the season for tree roots to start retreating into the ground. But you know what's going to happen if they found their way into your pipes? They're going to start plugging some holes, and you're going to start seeing seepage in your front yard. You're not going to want that to happen. Have water jetting done in your home before it gets too cold outside. Let Nick and his crew come down. They'll run a scope down the pipe to make sure that all the debris that was in there is cleared out. Make sure you don't have any backup in your basement so it doesn't freeze over when it gets too cold outside. Check out axbservice.com for all of your water heater, gas piping, backflow preventions issues, as well as the water jetting process, courtesy of AX Plumbing. Head over to axbservice.com tonight.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you. And for college sports, visit BUBruins.com.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Fall is the time to get to Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Stop in and see John, Dan, Jake, Deanna, Matt, and Monier the tailor. There's new fall apparel from Mizzen and Maine, Johnny O, Roan, and now pants from Brax. Stop by 78th and Dodge and look great for all of your fall events.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Wrapping up the show on a Taste Test Tuesday brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Over a decade of being #1 in Omaha doesn't happen by accident. Over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com. We have a little bit of breaking news here as the college football playoff bracket was just released. Projections heading into week number 11. Tulane is actually the representative they have in from the group of 5. They're currently number 24 team in the country. I don't think they end up winning their conference. I don't think it's going to matter. But
first team out is BYU. Second team out is Utah. And Utah's in dire straits because they're not going to win their conference. So,
yeah, well, and BYU's just got a chance to make it in anyway, just because they could beat Texas Tech and be the Big 12 representative. Time for our trash takes tonight. We're gonna give you I'll give you a hot take here to wrap up the show, and we'll put a poll on Twitter. You're going to vote for the best take. Whoever sees the fewest amount of votes will have the trashiest take of the night. I got a problem, and we were just talking about this in the break. The fact that police officer at halftime of the South Carolina Texas A&M game did what he did. For anybody that doesn't know, there was a state trooper that literally ran through his shoulder into South Carolina players coming out of the tunnel, and then tried to harass them into coming back and basically apologizing to him for doing it. That the only thing that happened to that man was that he was relieved of his game day duties. No, that dude needs to be relieved of his full-time duties. That's a fireable offense, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was disgusting. It was actually gross to watch.
Yeah, it was horrendous. Hats off to the South Carolina players for being the bigger men and just walking away.
And good on the game day staff for saying you need to not be here.
Correct. Agreed. Because it could have been much worse.
Yeah. The Big Ten is all aflutter with the money. We've talked about it on the show before. They're trying to get an infusion of cash from private equity.
Boo.
Our night shift has been discussing this a little bit as well.
We appreciate you.
This situation is something that may be a wedge that drives this conference apart. The long-standing relationships in the Big Ten may be scuttled because of money. And make no mistake, right? If the Big Ten had never added USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon, we wouldn't be having this discussion.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't think that we would.
Okay.
Because the amount of money that the Big Ten is making from its media rights,
it's a lot,
is enough to sustain 14 teams. And it's enough to keep them at the top of the country.
People always want more, though, John.
But when you add an institution like UCLA who's in bad financial trouble and you have to slice the pie further, it starts to pinch the pockets of everyone involved. I think that if the Big Ten had just said thanks but no thanks, we wouldn't be in this situation today where the Big Ten has two institutions who have said, we don't want this money. Do not do it.
One being USC, though.
One being USC. And the commissioner of the conference going, that's fine. You don't have to have any of the money.
We also need 49 teams in the college football playoff.
This situation, it looks really bad from the outside looking in. And look, man, if the Big Ten ever splits apart, it'll be because of this.
Also, Tony Petitti, could you just stop talking publicly? Thank you. Dan?
I'll make mine as fast as I possibly can. We know that next week there is a holiday by the name of Thanksgiving. And traditionally, it is all about turkey and football. But I would like to direct your attention to what will be happening at 3:30 on Fox that day. The University of North Carolina Tar Heels will be taking on the Michigan State Spartans. Currently, the 17th and 18th ranked teams in the country.
He's talking about college basketball, folks.
But this could be an early candidate for the game of November. Because there is a very strong chance, unless both of these teams forget how to play basketball and lose their hands, that both teams will be coming into this game undefeated. I'm going to put this on everyone's radar as a must watch. This will be a game that you will probably see again in March.
Nah, I'm going to be watching college football and pro football. Thanks anyway there, Dan. Hey, if you missed any of the show tonight and want to find out what Dan's watching on Thanksgiving, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by our friends at Allo Fiber. Listen, I've been rocking with Allo for over a year now, and they are the official internet, TV, and mobile provider of the Huskers. If you want them to be the official internet, TV, and mobile provider of your house, you can do that right now. How do you do it? Head over to allofiber.com/Husker Radio and sign up for services and get out of the Stone Age today. For Noah Houston, Dan Campinen, that handsome gentleman is John Schreiner. I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy birthday to Mickey the Mouse.
Would you wish upon a star?
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Fall is the time to get to Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Stop in and see John, Dan, Jake, Deanna, Matt, and Monier the Tailor. There's new fall apparel from Mizzen and Maine, Johnny O, Roan, and now pants from Brax. Stop by 78th and Dodge and look great for all of your fall events.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8. And every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Rail Car's incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Rail Car Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
It's cold weather season, and when it gets cold outside, pests want to come inside. From spiders to rodents, now's the time to prep your home for the winter months. An end-of-the-year pest control checkup can help keep the mice out of your walls, spiders out of your corners, and even prevent the occasional squirrel or raccoon from trying to make themselves at home. Don't let unwanted guests, besides your in-laws, crash your holidays. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Leaves are falling and footballs are flying. It's the season to celebrate, but it's tough to relax when your furnace starts shaking, rattling, and rumbling every time it turns on. With a maintenance plan from Controlled Comfort, you can enjoy peace of mind all year long. Our comfort specialist will perform a full HVAC tune-up and ensure your system is operating efficiently and reliably. Schedule your maintenance appointment today at ControlledComfort.com.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.